Have you ever wanted to own a property at the beach that you could use and somebody else could pay for? Well, I've got my good friend John Howard here today, and John has properties at the beach. He's going to give us an inside look at it. So welcome, John.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So John, how many houses or properties do you have at the beach? Tell us a little bit about your story.
We currently have 2 properties in Hilton Head. We've been going there for years, loved to vacation there, and we thought it'd be a great, not only investment because we're in the real estate business, and so we like to invest with what we know, but also have a place we could use for free, ideally, 2 weeks a year.
Yep. So tell us about that first one. I mean, how did you decide what type property to buy? And what was it like buying a property in a place you didn't live?
We did the typical thing, which was locate an agent that we were comfortable with. One thing I learned later on through this process was you should hire the manager first because they know
that's good advice.
What to buy first, and you can always find the agent and the property after that. So we found the agent, bought a property, things went really well, and we're very happy we did it.
Was it a single family or was it a condo?
It's a single family residence, so which I think was the right call. One thing you need to keep in mind is that the economies of scale type issue is that you're going to be paying for cable and paying for the yard and those types of items. So the more expensive the property, the less a factor or percentage of the overall expenses those become.
Yeah. And do you manage this yourself, or you mentioned a manager? You have someone else that does?
We have a manager, and the properties at Hilton Head are weekly rentals, and so you've got to have someone on the ground to do that because the properties are turning once a week, every week.
And how much effort does it take for you to manage the manager?
You still have to manage the manager because they're managing 50 to 100 properties at a time, so no one's going to care for your property like you do. So it's really important to stay on top of them to make sure that everything's maintained well.
And so I assume since you have a second property, the first property must have done pretty well. I mean, did the first property meet the expectations that you had?
It did. We've loved using it. It's been a great place for friends, family, and clients to use. Having an owner's closet where you can leave your things there is making it nice. We've made friends on the street. The second property came about. We weren't really looking, but we had mentioned to some of the people we knew down there, another deal came along to let us know about it. And the second one came from a manager, actually.
Oh, cool.
And so it happened to be a foreclosure, and it's worked really well as well.
Was that a single family, or is that one a condo?
It is single family as well.
Awesome. And so one of the things that I always think of when I think of the beach that gives me a little bit of pause is, what about weather and storms and global warming? I mean, any challenges with any of that?
Our properties are walking distance to the beach, but they're not on the water. But we've seen more storms in recent years, so it's definitely a factor. It's something you want to talk to your insurance agent about too, because things work differently with vacation rentals, so be on top of that. Long term, it's hard to know. So just be prepared that things can happen.
That the second road could be the first road?
It could be.
You might have oceanfront property in 30 years that you didn't,
really could.
Wasn't when you bought it.
You never know.
Well, what have been some of the things that have been unexpected about it? I mean, have there been any surprises that you wish you had known when you were going to do it the first time?
Back on the insurance, the named storm coverage.
Named storm coverage. So if the storm has a name, so if the Weather Channel gives it a name.
Be prepared that your deductible will go up exponentially. So be
Wow.
aware of that. The other big surprise we had at Hilton Head was with being Atlanta, schools have started earlier. So we used to depend upon a number of rentals in August, and now that's dropped quite a few. So if you get a week or two rented in August, you're good. Whereas before we were going in thinking we'd get 4.
Yep. Because the rents change dramatically, I would assume, based on the season. People are not paying the same as February as they are in July. And so you need that summer season, essentially, to get...
And Hilton Head has kind of an interesting rule of thumb for calculating your rents is you make basically half your gross rental in the summer. And then you double that the rest of the year. So you get families in the summer, golfers and tennis players in the shoulder months, which is before and after the summer, and then you get your snowbirds in the winter for long-term rentals that may rent for a month or two, January through March.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, this has been not that challenging to do, right? I mean, find a manager, then find the property, they take care of it for you, and it doesn't sound like, I mean, there's been big headaches or hassles or...
Not bad. One of the biggest struggles is when you do go there, you wind up doing a lot of work. So it'd be nice to lock
your vacation is a work...
A condo might be easier on that front, but there's the benefits of the house and the pool and having larger groups so you can bring your whole family and friends at once.
Are you going to buy another property?
We will.
Awesome. So if you have any questions with that, we'd be happy to help you with that, make a connection for you. At a lot of the beaches around, we have connections of our real estate network there. We could connect you with a manager or a real estate agent. I'm sure John would probably even answer a question or two for you. And as I hope you saw, that dream of having a place at the beach that someone else pays for, it is attainable. So thanks for watching today. We'll see you guys again next week.
Thank you.